Hey guys, just want to give a quick tutorial on the polysequencer. So if you don't know, polysequencer is a 128 step polyphonic step sequencer. And the way it works is you first record a MIDI sequence in, and then you can play that MIDI sequence back out to any MIDI device. It's clocked by either an external gate, or you can also actually use MIDI clock. So before we get too far, I just want to show how this is hooked up. So we have 9 volts DC, center positive. I have my microbrute connected to MIDI in, and then I have my Volca keys connected to MIDI out. And then for a clock source, we have the Volca sample connected to my gate in. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn it on. So when you're ready to record your sequence, it's really simple. You just press the record button, and then you enter your sequence. So probably the most important thing to understand when recording is you have to completely release all notes before you can move on to the next step. Add some polyphony at the end. So then once you're done with your sequence, you press stop, and now you're ready for a playback. So before we get too much farther, I just want to explain too, you can also add rest to your sequence by pressing the record rest button. And you can also save your sequence so that if you want to use this sequence later after you've powered off your device. So you do that by holding record and then press stop, and then it's saved. Okay, so now we're ready for playback mode. So first thing I want to go over is the clock division. So currently I have this on mode A, which is basically going to have the polysequencer use the divisions to the left of the div switch. So 1/1, 1/2, 1/3. And then if this was on B, you would have 1/4, 1/6, 1/8. So let's go ahead and listen to this sequence. Okay, I also want to go over the 2 playback modes. So there's override and interrupt. So interrupt mode is basically, as your sequence is playing, you can play over it and it's not going to change your sequence. This is really good if you wanted to do, for instance, a bass fill or some change that you wouldn't want to repeat. The other mode is override mode. So in this case, as the sequence is playing, you can play over it and then those changes will stick. So let's try that. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm currently selling these on my Etsy for 99 USD. And I'm also on Instagram at Space Brain Circuits, and I appreciate your time. Thanks.